The cloud. What is the cloud?
I wonder what the cloud's for other than making me all wet.
There are many types of cloud systems in place. Here are just a few. The Google Drive. Google is one of those websites that we've actually been familiar with for many years as far as being able to search on the internet. However, over time, it has become to be a conglomerate of the internet and actually offers a large amount of storage space for people, as well as the ability to do everything using things that will edit Word, Excel, and so forth. And there's also form functions built within that. So Google has actually become a very useful item over time. Netflix, another popular movie database system that's actually in place that is actually delivered using a cloud system. Other samples might be something along the lines of Hulu Plus or one of the other items that are actually out there available. There's many of them to choose from these days. As time goes on, there'll probably be a lot more. And then the famous Xbox Live. Xbox Live has been around for quite some time. It's actually a housed storage unit in the Texas area that is massive and actually has redundant data capabilities as far as backing up information. So every time somebody's going online live, they're actually connecting to a cloud server in order to accomplish this, which has actually increased the gaming experience. And cloud serving has actually been pretty popular in the gaming community for a number of years now, but with the bandwidth being restricted, it hasn't allowed for anybody to be able to do anything, as extravagant as we are now currently able to do. And then Salesforce is another type of cloud computing system that's used primarily for businesses. Allows them to actually manage and mine data that they may have within the company. Given the vast amount of information that's actually available today on the internet, we have to be able to manage this information, and that's why cloud computing has become so popular. Some other options that you may actually be aware of are SkyDrive, Dropbox, very useful if you actually attach it to your Android phone or even your iPod phones, your iPhones, iPod devices, and so forth. You can actually upload your pictures immediately to it as long as you have Wi-Fi connection or through the phone system, and it'll actually drop it on your computer for you locally. Apple Cloud tends to be used to back up a lot of data within devices, especially the iPad has become a popular use of that. SoundCloud is something that musicians tend to use more. It's actually being primarily used to deliver music content for people to be able to listen to and so forth. There's a slew of other ones out there, and I encourage you to do a search on the internet just to see what comes up. Use your favorite search engine and you might be surprised at what you see. So how does a cloud server work? Essentially, it's a series of computers and servers that are actually available that somebody is managing for you in a centralized data warehouse location. It takes the need for companies to keep the stuff in-house is not necessary anymore. Therefore, they're able to do much more efficient work and be able to do their jobs more efficiently. The other side of it is there's actually software can be developed for this that will allow individuals to be able to run different applications on them. And one of the really nice features is the ability to be able to actually kind of flip a switch and actually gain more server space as needed. This is really useful again in gaming because as gamers go online, they may need more cloud server storage in order to deliver the content that's being demanded at that moment of everybody playing a game, like on a weekend or something. However, at 4 o'clock in the morning during the week, somebody may not be on there playing games as heavily, so they kind of can shut that off. And they can set up an automated timer to do that if they wanted to. It just basically opens up the bandwidth usage and the amount of storage of data can be on the server. And all this has become the result of the World Wide Web, or the internet as some people tend to think of it. But the World Wide Web is actually the network of computers, and the internet is actually what we're using to actually gain access to that. But because of that, we've been able to actually make advancements in our technology and what we actually do. We're able to do much more advanced techniques. We're able to do time-saving techniques. We're able to pretty much do just about anything on the internet. And as the joke goes, if you can find it, it's probably going to be on the internet. If you can't find anything, Google it is a term that people tend to use. Um, so, just in summary, cloud computing has become more realistic over the past few years due to available bandwidth. Because of the bandwidth increases we've had made, because more homes are able to get DSL and cable within their homes, and a lot of the devices that we have now that are portable, such as smartphones and our iPads and our tablets and so forth, those have all made this a realistic possibility for people. There's more demand, and so as demand increases, so does the supply needs, and that means more data being transmitted over time. And large server warehouses are used to manage this enormous amount of data that's being done, like Microsoft Live, for Xbox. Uh, as the data increases, we have to figure out what we can do with it, and we have to figure out where we're going to store it. And constantly having to buy external hard drives, if you've ever done that yourself, gets to be pretty tedious, and it actually can be very expensive. So by just going through the process of renting a server space, paying for a service, and paying for what you actually need at that particular time for your storage usage, because you could downsize if something need arises later. It makes it more cost efficient for a company. So as the future continues, so will the need for the increase in data delivery as well as the management of that data. We're going to see a lot of changes happening in the near future. Anybody who's ever done any reading or research on any of the stuff that was presented in some of the Star Trek episodes in the past may have found that the amount of data that would be needed to store a human being's entire molecule and system makeup is massive. It's just beyond our scope of reality right now. However, what we're seeing now was not something that in the 1900s somebody actually sat down one day and said, you know what, I see this happening in the future. So things have changed fairly rapidly for us. A lot of our delivery systems are different, and cloud computing is a huge part of that.